Hello YouTube, it's Pac-Man building time again, and I thought we'd play a bit of Dolphin Blue today, which has been sort of modified so it'll work on the Sega Neo. If you stick some cash in, hit the start button. This game's pretty similar to Metal Slug. It's got a lot of slowdown unfortunately, but it's still a pretty cool game. So let's play this with other buttons, or special buttons. Oh, I'm dead already. I can't remember what the buttons are now. Oh, there you go, the shoot button. Always important to have the shoot button. So today, you can hear me over this, it's quite loud. What we're going to do is we're going to try and mount the joystick on the Pac-Man machine, and once it's mounted, we're going to try and have a quick game of Miss Pac-Man if we can. Once we've got all the wiring sorted as well. And yeah, so I think we're on the Dolphin now. This is what's pretty cool about this game. You get to ride a dolphin. So that's why it's called Dolphin Blue, I don't know. But yeah, you can see the slowdown, but it's pretty bad. Reminds me of the old Sonic 2, a few zones just slow down like this. And Metal Slug 2 is a bit like this as well, if I remember rightly. Yeah, so hope to make some progress on actually playing a bit of Pac-Man today. That would be pretty cool. So that's I've actually done it with the Dolphin. That's quite cool as well. You can like headbutt stuff. Yeah, so we'll make a start. So in the last video we got the metal overlay on the wood. We got our control panel overlay on there just to show what it's going to look like. So what we need to do is we need to mount the joystick next, I think. So obviously we want it to sit somewhere like that underneath. We don't bother with anything. The metal's now done pretty much, apart from a couple of bits we need to sort out, but only cosmetic reasons. So we need to take the metal off, and we need to make a hole for the joystick to go through, but not big enough, so because this needs to then drop in and screw into the top of the wood. And we need to round out a little bit, so this thickness here, so the thickness of this here, so that it's flush with the wood. So I'm going to take the metal off first, and then we'll measure it up. Okay, so measurements look a bit of a mess, but I'm going to come out. There's little steps I'm going to come out in here. The width wise I'm okay I think, but length wise I'm not 100% sure on. So we're going to use the jigsaw and I'm going to cut down to there. I'm just going to test fit and then try again. I think we're okay up to about here. I don't want to go too far. It's going to be mounted here, so if we put it like that you'll see this section here underneath will go through, and then it will stop falling all the way through by these bits here, which will flush right in, so that they're then level with this, and then they'll be sort of drilled through and held into place. So we use my jigsaw and we'll cut this bit out. Okay, so we got cutting this out. Hopefully that's done now, so let's bring out the joystick. I've taken the actual joystick out, sorry, it's just got the base left. So hopefully, if I put this on top, this is quite rough, I need to sand it down a bit. So yeah, that's just wide enough both sides, and it's just wide enough there, so I don't know if we better fit this in with the in fact, let's see if we can put the joystick in. Doubtful with these leaf switches, but if we can. I may have to undo these screws and just check it like that. In fact, I don't really want to sort of have to undo these screws every time I want to take this joystick in and out. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember, that there's notches for these on other control panels. I can't remember, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do little notches, little round notches here, one either side. Probably with start off with the drill, finish off with the jigsaw, so it can just sit. So I'll go away, do that, and come back. Okay, you can see the little notches are cut. This one's a bit bigger than I wanted it to be. I'll probably fill that side a little bit, maybe around the edges on these sides. A bit of sanding, but it's just rough cuts at the moment. And just so that we can do this. So if we, there we go. Is that in all the way? Yes. So we're in. So the joystick there will be mounted like that. However, obviously, you can see this isn't flush with this bit of wood. And when the metal goes over, it's going to cause a dent. So the whole point is that we route out this section, like around here, so it sits flat, and then you can put our nuts and bolts through. So let's have a look at it so far. That's pretty good. It's like a snug fit. It's not too wide. It's just enough. Have a quick look at the back. Again, it's not amazing. Cutting, we've lost a bit of wood down now to glue that back on. It's probably going to get. I'll put the drill bit with nothing on the other side. That's what happens when you do that. Bit of sand and make that look nice. Although having said that, it's never going to get seen. So yeah, we're getting there. So we need to write out this bit next. Okay, today I'm going to try and write out the control panel, marked where it needs to be routed. Now, I've not done any routing before in my life, so I've not used that router that I got either, obviously. So I've got this scrap piece of wood which is here, which I used to sort of test things out on, and the other side's actually used for putting Bondo P38 stuff on. So I'm going to try and write out, I'll have a practice writing it on here first, and then once I've done that I'll come back and we'll do the writing. Okay, have a bit of practice. Got the router all set up. Done about a 5mm depth setting on it. To do a couple of YouTube videos, but there are quite a few out there to help you out if you ever need to do it. Looks like a little funny face actually. So try doing a straight right. That's quite easy to do with the old guide, and did a bit there as well to make sure. And I put the joystick sort of base, and that sits just underneath the surface there. So 5mm should be good. I'm not sure the best way to do this really. I think the best way is just to sort of use the guide and just sort of do sweeping edges, sweeping lines across it. The bit I've got is quite small. I'm going to show you. So it's going to take a while, but I'd rather it take a while and get it right first time. So we'll do the first couple, and then we'll come back once the rest of it. So set this up here. It's going to be quite loud. Just going to have the Hoover on as well. Hook back to it. Probably not going to see anything, but so put that in there. say, it's probably the best way to do this, but you can see what I'm trying to do. So the square is here, so I'll come across here. I'm just going to do that. Take about, I don't know, 7 or 8 passes, but I'll keep it nice and straight anyway. Probably have to overlap. Okay, routing done. And yeah, no, actually, sort of what I did is I went along there, and then sort of just filled in the middle bits. Route's got away from me a couple of places, but in all, it's not too bad, especially for a first attempt. Main thing is that this fits and is flush. So let's put this in carefully. There we go. So that's now in. So if we have a look, you can see it's now sitting flush. And you can drop on them. And it's not moving either that much. So what we'll do, we'll check to see if the metal overlay lines up. So which way does this go on? This way, I think. Right way around. Yeah. So it's hard to get this all lined up without any screws or anything in it. That's about right. You can see all the holes line up, which is, you know, that's perfect. So we'll see. There's a bit of wiggle room we can move this around in. But that's good. So next thing I want to do is, I think what the best thing to do is to do these holes around here and get it, the screws and bolts put in place, and make sure that this is all going to be lining up as well. So we're coming back and do that. Okay, I want to get the bolts I got from eBay, and they're actually too big. So I need to order some more. They're like 50p or whatever, so not that bothered. So what I did is I used the buttons to make sure this is all lined up, and I put the holes in. So if we pull this out, there we go. All right. So you can see the holes there. So what I'm going to put this back in. It's got it took a while, and then just screw these countersink. I actually did put a little bit of countersink on these so that they would sit nice and flush. You see. So put these in, screw them in, put the overlay on top, and see if everything's lined up. So we'll do that, and we'll come back. As you can see, the joystick's now firmly in place. So put that on like that. Put this over the top. Okay, right, so see the joystick's pretty much in the middle with these lining up. So I think next thing to do is put the joystick in and see what it looks like. So it's going to get that now. So let's go through first, I think. So you can see this, yeah, you can. Everything's got to be lined up before it can go through, obviously. So there you go, that's in. Flip it over. Spring goes in first, I think, followed by this. This is the hardest bit, putting the E-clip on. That's on. The joystick shaft's a bit too long actually for this. It's a bit long. Always get a smaller one. Let's put it on the old cab and have a look at it. On. Now we have a joystick in place. What do you think about the it's the shaft length's too long? Not sure. Feels good. This is a bit wobbly yet because it's not finished. Moving about. I think that's alright. Let's come down a little bit. Joystick level. What do you think? Ah, I didn't put the washer underneath. Oh well. I've got the washer for it as well. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at it. Looks pretty centred, I'd say. Where's it? A bit of wiggle room, maybe, but yeah, that's pretty good. I'm not sure about the length of the joystick though. Looks a bit long for my liking. I don't know if that's the same as those. That's just because the metal. I don't know. That's fine. Fine for now. Well, that's good. So I need to wait for those bolts. Well, I need to order some bolts to make those to come. But in the meantime, I think we can start wiring it up. Can't play it like that though. If you let you on, just the whole thing is moving around. So it's because we've got no structural support here. Okay, today I've got the old control panel out. I've taken off the overlay for now. We still need to tidy up this. Not going to do that quite yet. Got another monitor in there today as well. I'm running out of space, all these monitors. Anyway, a few weeks ago I didn't bother putting on a camera because it's what I'm doing is soldering some wires, but it was some wire. I soldered in a, you can see that, 7-pin DIN connector into this. Now this is what we've got. You can't really see, but we've got a socket in there which is plugged into. I've got like a little I/O board in there that I've made, so that's for the controls. So the idea is that this will plug into the little I/O board that I've got. I've got another video on it. I'll link to it. And on the other end, I need to do another connector, same type, that will connect into a socket, which is around here somewhere. 6-pin, I think that's a 6-pin. So into this socket here, which will be underneath here somewhere, and then from that socket will go to the joystick, etc. What I thought we'd do today is we'd do that. We'd get the control panel side of the wiring done. So it's not that much to do. It's one joystick, so there's 4 connections on the joystick, and there's a connection each on here, plus the ground. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it off camera, because it's all I'm going to be doing is crimping. So I've got some crimps here. So I'm going to do all the crimping, and I'll come back and I'll go through what I've done. Right, so I've got the ground wiring mostly. I'll do the last one in a second. You can see what I've done. This is going to go over here somewhere, which is going to go into the socket, which will go into the arcade. So that comes into one of these, because these are all technically leaf switches. It doesn't matter which side you put the ground, as long as there's a connection made between the two. So this goes into that one, that goes into this one. The wire there is a bit short, I might have to extend that bit, it's not too bad. This goes into this, so basically daisy chained all the connections, and I've got this last one to put in there. So if we put that in there, probably a bit long actually. Cut these old pliers, there we go. Is that the right length now? Yeah, that's about right. So, that's what I'll do first. It's easier to get this in there like that. It's got a little ratchet on it so it won't release. And I'll feed that into here. Squeeze it tight. And that should now be on there. Yeah, that's on there well. That's on there good. So this now should slide onto one of these, doesn't matter which, like I said. There we go, that's slid on. So we've got our ground connected now. That's daisy chained all the way around. So the next thing I'll do is I'm going to do some wires. I've got a load of wire down here somewhere. So I think I need how many connections do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's why we've got a 7-din connector, because we should hopefully have, I think we've got one more cable here, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So got one extra. So I'm going to wire all these up. So I'm going to put it like this with the rest of it, this one here. I'm going to go each one to each one of these. So we'll do that and come back. Okay, so we've got all our controls hooked up now. So we've got our black wire coming in, if you can see this, we've got our black wire coming in, going to there, there, and there. So daisy chained all the way around. And each control then goes directly to, so green for, I think that's, green is right, because they're sort of, even though that's sort of, looks like it's down, it's actually right because it's sort of twisted around. So up is actually orange, left is blue, and right is, sorry, left is blue, right is red. And we got our 2 buttons as well here. So I'm going to quickly do a continuity test. So our black cable should hit all of these switches and the joystick, so it's a common ground. So yeah, but I should recheck the switches really. Sorry again, yeah, so that's right. So for instance, we've got to check these as well. I'm just going to check one, I'll check the rest off the camera. So this green one should be going to there. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll check the rest and come back. Okay, so I've got this scrap piece of wood which I sort of righted a little hole out of, and this will just drop in that, like that. We're going to wire up the controls here, the same way as in the cable, wherever it is. And that's going to go about there. like that, and that's going to get screwed in to there. I'll probably have a little slot up here actually, so that I can take the wires out if necessary. Because if I leave it, if I solder through here, then I'll never be able to take the wires out. So so what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw that into here and screw that into there as well, so that'll be fixed on there. And then what we'll do is we'll unscrew it, and then we'll solder the wires into here. So once this is screwed in, we'll come back and then we'll do the soldering. Okay, I had to make my remake my little mount point because I don't have space for the screws, and I have now. So this, I can get hold of it, goes in like that. So I need to wire all these wires onto the back of this thing here, and I need to put some kind of slot so I can move this in and out if I need to. I think this is screwed on tight onto the control panel now as well. So, and this, like I say, you're going to wire all these wires into the back of here. So they're going to go in. Into here. So we'll do that, and then we'll come back, and what I need to do is I need to wire the other side of the wire from the I/O board. We'll do that next, and then hopefully we should have a game of Pac-Man. So I've been using my newish soldering iron. It's so much easier to use as well. If you can see that, but the solder joints are much neater than they used to be in my old one. So I've done a little slot into here as well, if you can see that. What I need to do is feed in each one of these. So if we just feed through each wire, that's now in place. So what I actually need to do as well, thinking about it, is I need to maybe put a little hole at the bottom because they're getting pinched against the side, if you can see that. So probably make a little slot, a little square out here, and maybe off to the side like that. Actually, if I do it like that, where the screw's going in there, so it's down off to the side. Make sure all these wires can reach okay. Yeah, I think a little slot off to the side. So I'll go and do that now. We'll come back. Okay, actually hollowed out a little gap at the bottom of the slot, which is much easier because the wood was thinner there. So let's screw this down. Okay, so that's all in there. So all the buttons are wired up now. So what I need to do is I've got another one of these here. Come on, focus. There we go. I've got another one of these, so I need to put onto here. So I need to go away and do that now. I'm not going to bother showing any of these soldering because it's a bit boring really. So I'll resolder this. Sorry, another one of these onto here, and then once that's done, in fact I need to fix that down already, don't I? Then we can put the control panel on and plug it in to the I/O board thing, which will then plug obviously onto the board, and then we should be able to have a quick game. So I've got my solder iron here. So I'm going to go and wire up all these, and we'll come back. Okay, I wired up the other half of the DIN connector. The solder points aren't that great because they were okay. Focuses. There we go. Not that great now. But I forgot to put this on. I had to unsolder it again. So the whole idea is that this goes over. This straightens up a bit. As that goes over that, we need to put on the metal bits first. So this is quite fiddly actually, if I remember rightly. So we're only going this one way. I think. You see, it's already fiddly. You can just so that goes like that. And no, other way round actually. So let's try this. It's quite fiddly. It goes like that. It goes like that. And this thing goes on. In fact, if we do that and then we pinch that together, that should hold that in place then. Like that. And then this should slide on top. Like so. That's a bit easier than last time. And this then slides on top that. Oops, like that. And holds it in. There we go. Focus. So those should be the same going all the way through the wire. Next thing to do is to hook up that to the cab, get it all hooked up some power, and then we'll give it a go of Pac-Man. Right, so I've got the control panel put back in place. I've hooked up the cable that I've just made to the little socket on the control panel. TV's on, so let's boot the game. That's booting okay. Right, so I haven't got the coin and stuff hooked up yet, but oh, that's a reset. Where's the hell is that? I don't know where the coin is. There we go. Let's put a few credits in. That'll do. Unhook my thing. There we go. Right, so a couple of credits. You can see that. Yes, you can. So if we hit start, there we go. Look at that. Let's give it a go. It's fast, Miss Pac-Man. We'll get normal Pac-Man in the end, but this is cool. Look at this. All the controls working. Arcade machine's a bit shaky at the moment because I haven't got any struts in place, but this is fantastic. Look at this. Real joystick. Real controls, well, apart from the start buttons, but they're leaf switches, but they're modern ones. This is brilliant. There's no noise on the joystick. It's really easy when it's fast Pac-Man as well. Let's have a look at the screen a bit more. It's a bit too easy, really. So you've got extra life already. Oh, I say it's too easy. You go too fast, you catch your ghost up. Let's see if we get to the next sort of colour, like level-wise. I have no idea of patterns and things for this. I think I might get Miss Pac-Man working in this cab as well. Some kind of multi-boot system, but we shall see. You see the cabinet wobbling a little bit. Let's just wait here. That's it. Let's go on the other side with that, shall we? Oh, got a little fattens. Very quick. If I put that there, turn the lights off. It's a bit better. do you think? Pretty cool, eh? I think it is anyway, after all this work. We get all the coins and stuff sorted out. It's, this is awesome. I'm not talking that much, I'm concentrating. even though it's quite easy compared to normal Pac-Man. We just so all the buttons work, all the joystick directions work. Dead. Quite a few lives left yet. Anyway, yeah, I think we'll leave it there. I don't even need an outro video for this one because I've got a game already playing. Crap. But next time what we'll do is we'll get the coin door and everything sorted out. Get all the controls hooked up for that. And then we're going to start looking at painting and finishing the cab off then. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time.